Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. I'm Marco D'Angelo, and I am joined in studio. Very happy to introduce John Marks. He is going to be WagerTalk's hockey guy. And John, I want to welcome you on board. Your big following on Twitter. First of all, I'm going to tell you, I'm not a hockey guy, okay? And when I stumbled across your stuff, it was brought to my attention from one of our mutual friends, Chris. It just blew me away what I was seeing, what you were doing with hockey. And we're going to explain this because, I'll give my buddy Chris a little bit of a shout out. He said, you're the best 40% handicapper anybody will ever meet. Now, before anybody shuts the video off and moves on, we're going to explain why that 40% is so good, because you're thinking outside the box in handicapping, and I want you to explain a little bit about what you do and why you think hockey is a bettable sport.
Thanks for Marco for bringing me on. I mean, I was very flattered at the offer, and that like I said, some people are really noticing what's going on. And you're right. My career public record is 41%, and but I managed to average about 60 units profit per year. I've been doing this for 4 years professionally, and those are some serious numbers. And I watch people struggle with NFL, or not struggle, but people, line up around the block to get, 3 cents on, some kind of value and this extra little nugget here and there. And in hockey, it's almost like the forgotten step kid. It's like, the books keep the limits low, but at the same time, they really don't put much effort into it. And so you really have tremendous advantage on these things. I mean, sometimes it's really not unusual to get a 70-cent move on a line, and stuff like that. So if, with the information, like I said, if you're early in the market or can predict if it's going to be later, I mean, like I said, the rewards are, tremendous. And, so it's been going really well.
Well, to set you up, baseball is my passion sport, okay? And what I love about baseball is because it's the only sport that you don't have to pick more to hockey, and the way you're betting it, you don't have to pick more winners than losers to make money if you're betting dogs. And you're finding areas in the hockey market and holes in it, basically, where you're exploiting it and you're doing non-traditional bets. Instead of doing like one of your favorite, that I've seen a lot that's been very successful for you, is doing the puck line wagers. And if you want to explain what you're doing with that and why you're seeing advantages on that and being able to take a team that's a favorite and turn them into a dog on the puck line, go ahead and tell us the value.
Yeah, that's the power there. The first year that I started doing this with the puck lines, oftentimes if you have a game that's pick 'em, and you look at those teams minus 1.5 goals, that you get 5-2 is the return on your investment for those. So I mean, that's really, really powerful, especially if you think one of those teams in the pick 'em game is going to win handily. And so and originally you mentioned baseball. After I had success in the first season, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to take this right to baseball with the run line. However, it's way more powerful in hockey because goals are so much harder to get than, in baseball you can score 4 runs with a swing of a bat.
Right.
And in hockey, goals are just so high, and so you get those tremendous rewards. And like I said, if you can, if you happen to be on the right side of using them, they're tremendous. If you're getting 5-2, that means you really only have to win 1 of 4 wagers to even break even. So I mean, that's pretty powerful.
And obviously you're using some kind of math module that's getting you because you're not going to be blindly just going laying puck lines on all these games. You have things that you look for that's going to give you an indication that you think that this is going to be a game decided by 2 runs. I'm talking baseball, 2 goals. And in hockey, when it is that 3-2, to give the comparison to baseball, if the game is 3-2 and you've got the favorite and you're laying 1.5 runs in baseball, you're not batting in the 9th inning. Game's over. Mm-hmm. Where in hockey, the team that's losing is trying to tie the game, and they're doing everything they can do to do that. In many instances, they pull the goalie. You get that cheap goal at the end of the game, and you now have a two-goal margin that sets you up on a big win. Now, to explain to the listeners, are you strictly doing the puck line on that game, or are you separating maybe half a unit on the game itself and then maybe half on the puck line, balancing the bet any, or is it all, if your math says I have a good shot of winning by 2 goals, that's what we're going to do and run with it?
Yeah, I really stick with one or the other. If there is a doubt or a considerable doubt as to whether they could get that 2-goal margin, then the money line does make the thing. And you know, the thing with the puck line that a lot of people use it, you know, like if you have a very large favorite, you know, minus 250 or something like that, a lot of people, they don't want to lay the 250, so they'll take minus 1.5 and get them in even money. And that's one of the worst bets you can, in my opinion, you can make, because you're cheapening the value of how difficult it is to win a hockey game by 2 goals. And so I either go one or the other, but if the numbers are strong, I ride the puck line. And like you said, if it's 3-2 and I don't get that empty netter, you know, a lot of people act, you know, it's like, well, that's upsetting. But, you know, like I said, when you're early on counting on 1 out of 4, it's you know, it is upsetting. Every loss is upsetting, of course, but
to do what you've done and do it over a 4-year period, have documentation on it, and produce the profits that you had. And I think your worst year in that 4-year period was the strike shortened season.
Strike shortened season, yeah. I ended up with 50 units in the regular season, and then the playoffs I didn't fare as well. But but the regular seasons, like I said, have clicked off. And it's pretty scary. I mean, I was looking at the numbers last night. I went 301 and 438 last year out of 740 bets, and I netted 76.7 units of profit. And those are, you know, 1-unit wagers. I know in this business, a lot of people, you know, 3-star, 4-star, that kind of stuff. Now this is, you know, flat betting 1 unit, whatever your unit size is. So, you know, you can plug in the value. And this year's following suit. I'm 61 and 85 so far, plus 21 units already this year. And we're about a little over a quarter of the way of the season, and so it seems to be the same pattern that's been going on.
What I'm even more excited about is that you're going to be posting in our forums at Wager Talk, and we just launched a new forums, and quite frankly, what I'm doing is I'm going out and I'm looking for great, proven talent, and you've proven that. And we had great dinner last night. Picked your brain left and right on this, because, you know, it is, most people, if they look and just see that 1-loss record, they're thinking, like, is this guy high? What are we doing? But when you explained everything you're doing, and we're not just talking puck lines, you do some alternative betting, and one of the ones that you like to do, and boy, whenever I know my buddy Chris, whenever he's doing cartwheels down the strip when you hit these overtime ones. Explain the overtime bet to the audience.
Yeah, it's very similar to what they offer in soccer, 3-way betting. So you can you can take a winner in regulation at the end of the 3rd period, or you can take the game to be a draw and go to overtime. And like I said, with the hockey, generally those prices can be generally upwards of plus 260. And the criteria that I select, I don't take anything less than 3-1, because the math just doesn't support less than that. Kind of similar to the puck line, where with the puck line I don't take anything less than plus 200 generally as well. So like I said, I don't exploit taking a large favorite. But those games. Teams in these kind of sports where they play 80 games a season, or in baseball, teams develop a personality, and they're either a tight defensive unit, or they just don't have a lot of offensive punch. And so I do track the scoring and everything. And when I see something that 2 teams that fit a model that looks like it's going to be a certain flow of a game, it really pays to just get on there. And like I said, even I don't mind losing it, even if it's a 1-goal game. If it's alive to the very end, I mean, then I did my job there.
Absolutely. Well, we're excited to have you on, and what the viewers are going to be excited about is you're going to be posting all this stuff for free. You want people to learn and see that you're not just blowing smoke here. You can make them money. And, eventually we're not going to kid anybody. At some point in time, we're going to have him monetize some of this, but he's going to put money in your pocket first. And when we had dinner last night, that's the thing that you emphasized. I said, we can monetize you however you want. And you said, I don't want to monetize right now. I want to put money in people's pockets. I want them to believe in what I'm doing, and then they've got the money in their pockets. Then they can, buy me at a later date, after we've established ourselves. And I think that is absolutely tremendous. It is a win-win for both us having you on a platform like this to get to the audience. And let's face it, hockey is the redheaded stepchild, so to speak, of the betting world. It's the least popular, but the people that do bet it, well, they're diehards. They're fanatics about hockey,
Right.
And hopefully you're going to bring more people to the sport.
And that's really a mission. I mean, to be honest with you, like I said, monetizing, the information is really going to be the least of the amount of money that I would bring in. But the profits from the wagering is, exclusive. But the thing that I do want to do is bring that, get to more hockey fans that are out, especially betting hockey fans. I have a hard time, locally where I live on the East Coast, you think it's a rabid hockey kind of environment, but not many people, are into it. So I really want to promote the sport. And like I said, this is a tremendous way, it's a tremendous market for people to, to get involved in. And that's really what I want to do first. Like I said, I have been putting money in people's pockets now for free for 4 years and or in my 4th season now. And so, yeah, I mean, I want to bring this, and like I said, where else a better opportunity than, in Las Vegas itself. So, I'm pleased that.
Well, we definitely want to have you on board, and I am all for bringing anybody on board that I have more hair than, because I got to deal with Brian and everybody else. So that was the selling point too. That was the other thing that got you on board, because got to have that. That's your hazing. So we got to joke with everybody here. Right. And John, seriously, thank you. Welcome aboard Wager Talk. Guys can start following. You're going to be, posting stuff in the forums. You have your Twitter. They can follow you on Twitter. We're going to be putting up your Twitter handle. It's No Joke NHL.
Correct.
On Twitter. Follow him there and check him out in the forums. You're going to be putting a lot of good information. And guys, he's going to teach you how to do it. And some of these bets, you're going to have to work to find books that take them. They're not all mainstream bets, but do the homework. It's worth it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, people send tweets back all the time. I can't get this line. What should I do? And my answer is get another book.
Absolutely.
So yeah, if you're really serious, you really need to spread yourself around and like I said, shop for the best numbers you can get, because like I said, it all counts in the end.
All right, John. Welcome aboard WagerTalk.com. He's John Marks. He is our hockey guy. And even though he is from Baltimore and he did come to the studio with a Ravens hat, me being a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, I still like him anyways. All right, John. Hey, thanks. We're going to have a lot more announcements like this, but check John out. Follow him on Twitter and follow him in the forums at wagertalk.com. Thanks for watching, guys.
Cool.